Elementary Science Class 6. The Living Organisms, 2. Characteristics of organisms.
Plants and animals are living organisms, but how do we know if something is living or non-living?
Well, living organisms have certain characteristics that make them different from non-living things. For example, they grow, reproduce, and respond to their environment.
That's interesting. But what about objects like a chair or a table?
Those are non-living things. They don't grow, reproduce, or respond to their environment like living organisms do.
What are some examples of living organisms?
There are many examples of living organisms, such as dogs, cats, monkeys, squirrels, insects, and plants. Living organisms and life.
All living organisms need food for energy and growth. Animals depend on plants or other animals for their food.
That's right. And all living organisms show growth, just like we do. Young ones of animals grow into adults, and plants also grow.
But do all living organisms respire?
Yes, respiration is necessary for all living organisms. It's through respiration that the body finally obtains energy from the food it takes.
That's fascinating. But do all living organisms respond to stimuli?
Yes, changes in our surroundings that make us respond to them are called stimuli. All living organisms respond to stimuli, including plants. For example, flowers of some plants bloom only at night, and in some plants, leaves close or fold when someone touches them. Plant life. Hey, Maisie, let's talk about plants and their response to sunlight.
Sure, that sounds interesting.
Plants respond to changes around them. If you place a potted plant in a room away from a window through which sunlight enters, it will bend towards the window. This is in response to sunlight.
Wow, that's amazing. Do plants excrete like animals?
Yes, they do, but the mechanism is different. Some plants store waste products within their parts in a way that they do not harm the plant as a whole, while others remove waste products as secretions.
Do all organisms reproduce their own kind?
Yes, all organisms reproduce their own kind. Plants reproduce through seeds, which can germinate and grow into new plants. Some plants also reproduce through parts other than seeds, such as a part of a potato with a bud that grows into a new plant.
That's so cool. Can I grow a plant through cuttings?
Yes, you can. Plants also reproduce through cuttings. What is life?
Do non-living things share these characteristics as living things?
Non-living things might show some of these characteristics, but not all of them at the same time. For example, a clock may move, but it doesn't need food or respire.
I see. What about seeds? Are they considered living or non-living?
That's a good question. Seeds can stay in a shop for months without showing any life characteristics. But, when planted in soil and watered, they can turn into a whole plant. It's not always easy to say if something is living or non-living.
Interesting. So, what is life then?
It's not easy to answer that question. But, looking at all the diversity of living beings around us, we can conclude that life is beautiful.